Sophie's Choice by William Styron. This is a book off the top 1000 list, 1000 books to read before you die by James Mustick. Something that was real cool is I actually got a signed book by William Styron about a year ago. And about, I don't know, 2 months ago, I saw it at the bookstore. We actually had a signed copy of Sophie's Choice, and I was tempted to get it, but I think it was priced something like, I don't know, like 60 bucks, 80 bucks, maybe it was over 100 bucks. And I actually began to read the book, and I wasn't really liking it too much, so I was like, well, I'll pass on that. And then, like, the next day I went into the bookstore, it had sold. So for a moment, I was kind of like, oh man, I should have bought it when I had the chance. But at the same time, I was like, I didn't want to pay that much for it, and I already have a signed book by William Styron. If I didn't have the signed book by him, I probably would have bought it. But since I have a signed book by him, I didn't want to pay that much for it. Anyway, Sophie's Choice. I began reading it and I thought at first it was like, okay, this is decent. It's not good. It's definitely not great, but it's also not terrible. But then I got to a line where the author drops an F bomb. He just like out of nowhere said something about like effing a girl in a hammock. And I was just like, wait, what? Did I read that right? And then about a half page later, I saw another like explicit line and I was just like, okay, is this apparently what the book is about? And then shortly after, like within another half page, then I saw another line and another line and another line. So at that point I was like, okay, now I see what this book is. And what I'd kind of compare it to would be Henry Miller, who was a really like profane, explicit author, and also to a lesser extent Norman Mailer. So I think at this time, like around the 1950s, 1960s, whatever, you had several authors who made it a point to be edgy, to have a lot of profanity, like F-bombs, and talk about sex and stuff, like real explicit stuff. And so, yeah, that's apparently what William Styron is doing. I thought this book was about like some woman who survives the Holocaust has to make up a choice to like leave her kids or something. I thought that's like the main plot of the book. But instead, as I'm reading it, I just see all these lines about sex and stuff, real explicit stuff. So I just do not like, I guess, like explicit words or whatever, or profanity in novels. I just don't like it. I don't want to go into it in depth. It's just something I don't like reading that. I don't like reading those words in books. To me, it's like cheap. It's authors trying to appear gritty because it's like, ooh, look, I used profanity. I had an explicit line. Aren't I edgy? Aren't I pushy? And I just don't really respect that from a literary merit. Like, I could understand it from like a free speech merit, like pushing the boundaries, you know? But at the same time, it's like, I don't really find value in that to say, like, oh, this is a good book because he uses profanity. To me, the profanity detracts from the rest of the book. Why do you need the profanity to tell this story about this woman who survived the Holocaust or whatever? What does all that profanity have to do with it? It's just the author trying to be edgy. So when I saw those things, and then I flipped like to the book at random just in the middle and saw how long I had to read, just like a few sentences till another profanity or another explicit line, then skipped another couple pages and checked in, same thing. It's just all throughout the book. So I just don't want to read that. I can't read that. I would not be able to read this book and follow it because I would just begin thinking words, 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 explicit line, words, 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 profanity, words, words, words. Hey, it's been a while since a profanity, words, words, words. Oh, there's the profanity. So yeah, I just gave up on this book once I found that out about the profanity and the explicit stuff. I just don't like it. I can't read it. I can't enjoy a book that has that, really. And in terms of the writing, there was nothing I saw that was really special that made me think, oh, this is actually a masterpiece. I want to keep reading this. This is some good stuff. This is a good writer. I didn't see that at all. I just saw this writer loves talking about sex and loves dropping profanity. So it's not for me. I give it a 1 star. I'm not interested. I don't care whatever literary merit the book may have. I don't care how the plot about the Holocaust thing may be, because the profanity and explicit stuff just gets in the way. It makes the book unreadable to me. So hard pass for me.